shooter than Clint. Elizabeth is a much better shooter than Clint, but she's not half the worker Clint is. Clint is a hard worker. He gets up at 2 or 3 o'clock every morning to go sell crawfish for me to the restaurants, and he never complains. Elizabeth is an awesome person. I love her to death. But she smokes a lot. She smokes about 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And her daddy was my best friend for years before he passed away. I watched Elizabeth grow up, and they fished about 36 tags. That's what they had to fill all them years. And they would go out and play and catch 2 or 3 a day, you know what I'm saying? And the year she came with me, we had a bunch of tags. We had like over 400 something tags. And every 10 minutes she wanted me to stop so she could clean her hands to smoke a cigarette. And I told her, no, there's no way. I don't smoke, we don't take no breaks. When we fishing alligators, we start before daylight, and we work till we finish that evening. Most of the time it's right before dark. We come out the water right at dark. We still got to unload them and measure them. We don't finish till 10, 11 o'clock every night. And I don't stop for lunch. I don't stop for a smoke break or nothing. We bring stuff to drink because it's so hot. But when we're traveling from one area to another, we will open the ice chest and drink while we're traveling. You know, we don't park in the shade and take a smoke break. And I would stop for it. Man, she would always mad at me and raising hell. And I'd call her Elizabeth, and she'd get mad. She hates when I call her that. And I'd tell her, look, this is my boat. I'm the captain of this boat. I'm going to call you what the hell I want to call you. When you're in this boat with me, I'm the captain. You're going to do what I tell you. And she was her daddy's little girl. She always got her way, and then with me, she didn't get her way. Oh, she cried and all in the boat 2 or 3 times. She made me feel bad, but it's like I told her, Elizabeth, we don't have 30 tags to fill. We got over 400. You got to step it up about 5 notches more than what you used to doing. And but she's an awesome person. Elizabeth, she's a real good girl, and she's a hard worker. She's very hard worker. She just likes to smoke, and that's her. If she likes to smoke, that's her business. I just ain't gonna take no break for her to smoke. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you and Junior Edwards always fished right by each other?
Oh, God, Junior. Let me tell you something about Junior Edwards. Junior, I love him to death. Junior and I grew up fishing next to each other all our lives. But he is a crybaby if you ever saw him. Just watch the show. Watch the show. When Willie's in the boat with Junior, somebody else is in the boat with Junior, just watch what Junior does. He's a boss. All he do is give orders. And he's not a hands-on boss. But Junior and I, we go back a long ways together. And I love him to death. He's a good fisherman, but he's a crybaby. He's not like Willie. Willie is a worker. Willie don't do nothing but work. And Junior don't do nothing but cry. Oh, I tell him all the time. I never seen a grown man cry so much. Last year, you might have saw that on one of the episodes, they brought it up. But I guess the last 4 or 5 years, I've been having like over 500 tags. And I get about 350, 400 a year on them 38 private landowners. Well, all I do with them landowners is I work out a deal, I pay them a percentage of whatever I catch on their land. But I do get about 100 tags that I got to bid on, public land. Public land, they can't give it to one person. You got to bid on public land tags. And what we do is when you bid on a certain tract, there's about 20 tracts of public land that goes for bid. Okay, and when you get one of them tracts, you get it for 5 years. Okay? Well, last year, one of the tracts that I've been fishing for 15, 20 years now came up for bid. And now Will is going on his own, so Junior don't have that many tags. And Will is going on his own, so he's been sharing his tags with Willie. And he was trying to get them tags that I had for the last 15 or 20 years. And he bid it, and the bid had to be in at the state land office in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The bid had to be in on August the 11th at 11 o'clock. They was going to open the bids then. And it don't matter if you got there on August the 11th at 12 o'clock, they wasn't going to open your bid, okay? And Junior and I was, along with some other fishermen, was bidding on this tract of land last year. And Junior actually outbid me. He outbid it. I think I had bid it, I don't remember what it was. I think I had bid it like $250 a tag for that public land tag. And you got to pay those ahead of time. You don't know what the price is going to be. Sometimes you lose money on them public land tag. So they opened the bids. They opened the bids on August the 11th at 11 o'clock, and I was the highest bidder. So I got the lease for 5 years. But Junior calls me up, red in hell, crying like a baby. That's what he sounds like on the phone when he's pissed off about something. I said, what? Hold, slow down. I said, I don't understand a word you tell him. Well, you must have rigged it. How you got them? What you bid it? And then I told him, he went on, well, I outbid it you. I bid it $270. He actually had outbid it. He bid it $25 or $30 a tag more than I did. But his envelope with his bid and it didn't get there till a week later. Okay? And I told him when I found out, we found out it finally got there, it was a screw up in the mail or something. I don't know what happened. But I told him it was Junior. I said, the stamp you put on the envelope, I said, I saw your envelope when it got there. I said, the stamp you put on was in from the 1950s. I said, they don't use 3-cent stamps no more. But if you wouldn't be so cheap and put a good stamp, maybe you would have got the bid. Boy, but I like Junior. I really like Junior. He's honest. You can fish by him. And he's a crybaby. Like the boundary dispute, Junior wants to fish to the line, okay, to the property line, but he wants you to stop a half a mile before you get to the property line. And it pisses him off. If you go and put a line right next to the property line, it makes him mad. When he got one right on the other side. And you know, out of 38 landowners I fished for, only about 3 of them paint their property lines through that swamp. Okay? 3 of the big ones. They'll paint their property lines. So if you're fishing for them, well, you know where you gotta start and where you gotta stop. Or if you're fishing for their neighbor, well, you know you gotta. But the other 35 or 34 of them landowners I fished for, they don't paint their line. They're small landowners. They don't want to spend the money to hire a crew to paint all them lines. So you gotta almost guess. You gotta look at a map and said, okay, John Brown's property starts right past the second curve in the bayou and it stops a mile from here before the other curve. So there's always disputes out there because the lines aren't marked. There's no fences, it's swamp, it's bayou. And there's a lot of disputes, and most of the time we can work them out among ourselves. Every once in a while you meet this guy out there that he's always right, and you can show him on the map where he's wrong, and sometimes you got to get the landowner or the law involved. But most of the time, 98% of the time, you can work it out. And sometimes I'll do on purpose to put one. Sometimes I'll go 10 foot across the line on Junior's side of the line and put a line just to hear him cry. I mean, he's a crybaby. That's what he's a grown man that cries like a little baby. The reason his wife is tougher than him.